Hello everyone, so I am back with another video. I thought I would take a break away from designing just for a few hours and have some fun with all you guys, show you guys my latest digital collection, which is Romantic Notions, and do a fun project with it. So I'll go ahead and just show you guys a quick preview of the papers that come in the collection. Now these I printed on my laser printer. I printed them onto 32-pound paper, which you can get from Amazon. I like the 32-pound paper because it's more substantial than just regular copy paper, and I love how my prints turn out on the 32-pound paper. But you could use just standard copy paper as well, and of course if you don't have a laser jet printer, you can use your inkjet printer and still get beautiful prints with these. Also, I wanted to mention that I do put out a newsletter. I try to get one out once a month, but I have been so busy that it's been going on more like every 2 months I've been getting one out. But in the newsletters, I have freebies. And in the latest newsletter that I did, I included freebies that go with this collection. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the newsletter, you can get some freebies and a 20% off coupon for the collection. Now, this is offered only at my dreamsetc.com site. I do plan on putting it on Etsy, but if you guys go to my Dreams ETC site, that is where you will see I have the collections bundled together. I wanted to use purples, get something with purple tones, and of course I love some of those mauve tones. And then here are some of the ephemera tags that come in the collection as well. And these I like to print onto cardstock, mainly because I like my ephemera to be more durable. I tend to cut it and make pockets with it, or I might just embellish my page. It just depends. But normally I like to print my ephemera onto 110-pound white cardstock. Again, you can get this from Amazon, Walmart sells it. I get the Georgia Pacific brand. And then also in this kit, there's a card kit, and I don't know if I printed that out. I don't think I have it printed out, but there is a card kit that comes in this collection, and you can cut everything out and layer it on top of the papers so you can get a nice 3D effect for your card making, or even your journal pages if you like. Here's some of the envelopes. I had these already printed out, so I thought while I did, I would just show you guys a sample of the collection. Also, I will have these available at my dreamsetc.com site. It's a small ephemera kit, and my mom, she made these cabinet cards, and she took actual cabinet cards she bought and then scanned them and made her own cabinet cards. And I mean, they're just like the original cabinet cards. It's hard to tell the real from the ones that she made. So these are included inside the ephemera pack. There's 2 that come with each pack. And I thought that I might incorporate these into the project somehow. And then you would also get a bag filled with all sorts of goodies, vintage cards. She tries to use a lot of vintage materials in her kits, so I thought I would use some of these as well. They're vintage playing cards. These are in the kit. Some Rolodex cards, there's library cards, journal cards, flashcards. Again, these kits will be available on my site, and it comes just jam-packed with all these journal cards, and there's even some recipe cards in there. There's some layaway tags that come in the kit, alteration tags. There's just some really good stuff, fun stuff here that you can use in your journal making. I'm going to show you again how you could take some of the items like playing cards or game piece cards and incorporate those, make them really pretty to tie into your journal making. And then there is also some doilies and guest checks and airmail envelopes and larger tags that come in the kit. There's some notepad, papers, and vintage recipe cards that you can use for a recipe book. So you can use this ephemera pack with more than just one journal. There's probably enough here to do, oh, I don't know, 3-4 journals, maybe more, and even a recipe book if you so choose. So there is the ephemera pack. I thought I would kind of switch it up a little bit and do a project showing you guys how to incorporate a manila clasp envelope and a file folder to create this, I don't know, I guess you could call it a mini journal or a signature page that you might want to use in a journal. Okay, so on this front section here, I used a brown paper bag to create this pocket here. I used some scrap fabric that I had and then did a fussy cut of one of the images from my new Romantic Notions digital collection. And then I have these ephemera kits that my mom made, and she made these beautiful cabinet cards. They look just like real cabinet cards. And I included some of the items from the ephemera pack into this. I took and embossed some paper here and covered my front section on my paper bag right there, and then used more fabric up above another scrap piece to finish covering my paper bag. And again, later in the video, after I show you a preview of this, I go over step by step how I put all this together. I just used a lot of scrap trim that I had, broken jewelry chain, and embellished it. And that's basically all I did with the front here. And you can see where my manila envelope is right here. So I used this to build a hinge, and I used the file folder, which you can see here, to build the intersection of this little mini journal or signature page. Here again, I fussy cut one of the images from my Romantic Notions digital collection, embellished it with broken chain, little bits of sequence trim that I had. Here I took a Martha Stewart punch and created this little paper lace border. And then I used those window envelopes that you get, you know, if you have bills, like most of us do. I know I have bills. Anyway, that's what this envelope's from. And I, again, fussy cut one of the ephemera pieces from the digital collection, my Romantic Notions. Used just, again, scraps that I had of gold mirror board, sequins, broken jewelry, trim, and then I used this little paper clip up here to kind of hold that in place. Here I have a doily, a ephemera piece, again scrap pieces of trim, and then I have my tag inside the window section, so it shows through and that's where you see the wishes. And then here on this side, I just have a few cards. I'll probably take and stamp on this a little bit. I need to corner my edges and distress my edges with the Wilted Violet Distress Oxide. That's what I used throughout most of this album, just to kind of finish it off a little bit. But I wanted to get this video out while I could, so that will probably come later. But there's that little section there. Oh, and going back here, so I have a pocket that I created on the side, and this is where the flap of the envelope is. And then I placed in some lined papers for journaling, quite a few of them, from a paper pad that I got from the dollar store, and I loved it because it was made in the USA. And I show that in my video. And then this just kind of tucks like so. Okay, so on this side, I embossed a piece of cardstock, more trim, scrap trim. Under here, where I wrapped it around, I used some filigree. It was a filigree flower, and then just placed some of that trim, scrap trim that I had over it. And then this is from an American Express, you know, those credit card offers that you get, and this is one of the brochures that came in it. So I just took and covered everything with some of the lined paper, and then some of the papers from my Romantic Notions digital kit, and then I just distressed and added in some washi tape, stamped it, and so again, lots of space for journaling. And then in this section, I used two small coin envelopes here and stamped, and then placed two of the journal cards from the Ephemera pack inside. And then I just glued this brochure cover section to the back of my hinge, which was created from the file folder. And then on this section, so this was part of the file folder that I cut down to create a flap. And then I used just, again, one of those envelopes, window envelopes that you get in your mail, and covered it with some of the papers, the ephemera from the kit, and then here's some tags that I inserted. Again, this is from the Romantic Notions digital kit. And then created this little flap here. And then here, you know, you could add in a picture, or you could journal, whatever you might want to do there. And then I have another flap right here, and a little library card for journaling, and another tag. And then on this side, I created a pocket with one of the tags, and then just added in a bunch of stuff from the ephemera kit that my mom put together, with the exception of this. This comes in the digital kit, but all of this comes in that ephemera pack with those cabinet cards, and those will be available at my Dreams ETC site. And again, I'll probably distress the edges and do some more stamp work to those. Here I took one of the ephemera pieces, one of the easy cuts that comes in the kit, and then I just used a little trim flower with some of the scrap sequence trim, and then more scraps of trim that I had, and I just glued this down onto a tag to create this little flap to hold all this kind of down, or create a decorative element on my page here. And so I have a paper clip up here It's those hinge paper clips that you can get at your office supply store. And I covered the other paper clip down here, just used a piece of scrap trim to cover my other paper clip. And then I have some cards and tags, and then more paper for journaling, quite a few pages, like 10 pages or so, that all come out where the paper clip is holding it at the top and at the bottom. So that's what I did there. Again, it's all pretty simple stuff. Just finding different ways to incorporate the ephemera, the tags, create pockets, and so forth. I think once you start to build your basic foundation of your signatures, then it's easy to, go from there and figure out where do I want to create a flap or a pocket and so forth. So hopefully you guys will get a lot of ideas after seeing this video and how I put this all together, because I do get quite a few people asking, how do you create the pages for your journals? So this, I know it's been long overdue. I thought that this video would help demonstrate that. Okay, and then on the back, again, lots of scrap pieces of trim paper that I used, and then I just put some scrap trim over it to give it kind of a fabric look. This, I have two little charms here, and they had these little loops at the top, and that's kind of holding this in place so all my stuff doesn't fall out. And then more stuff from the ephemera kit that I will have for sale. And again, I'll probably distress the edges and all that, do my stamp work, but for now it works. And then this just slides in between the two charms to hold all that together. And then there's another pocket right here, and I just have some tags from that ephemera pack thrown inside the pocket there. And so that's it. So it's amazing what a manila clasp envelope and a file folder, what you can make as far as, there's a few signature pages in here, and lots of journaling and flaps and pockets and so forth. So I hope you guys, will get a lot of ideas and inspiration from this. I'll just go ahead, I'll put some music on, and you guys can watch how I put all this together. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. Sometimes it takes me a few days to get to them, but I will get back to you. And thank you so much for watching. Oh, and if you guys like these videos, I do plan on doing more vintage tutorials. I do a mix of things on my channel. I love art, so sometimes I'll be promoting my caramel stamps. Sometimes I will be doing a mixed media project. Sometimes I'll be doing a vintage journal. It's just a channel that I wanted to show an array of, I didn't want to do just one thing, because I love all forms of art. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.